Good afternoon, everybody. Today is the 24th of January, 2018, and I bumped into Horry this morning and we're having a quick catch up with him. Good afternoon or good morning. Very early in the morning for you, Horry.
Yeah, it sure is. It's about 6:30 in the morning right now, or 7. Yeah, about 7 actually.
You're on one.
Yep. How are you
You
doing?
were streaming last night, weren't you? I saw.
Yep, I was streaming twice actually. I streamed about some interesting news in the flat Earth community, and then I streamed about a few hours ago on the Fiverr. I'm calling it the Project Flat Curious, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I've been doing some live streaming lately.
I've noticed. But when I said that, do you want to have a hangout, I didn't know it'd be right now, and suddenly here I am with Horry on a hangout.
Yeah, the time difference is wonderful, but I am often up all night long until about like 9, 10 a.m. and then I pass out. But yeah, when I'm free, this is how it goes. So do you want me to tell you what I've been doing with this Fiverr stuff and what Project Flat Curious is all about?
Yeah, please do.
So check it out, guys. This is really fun stuff. Okay. There's a website called Fiverr.com, and you can go there, and it's a freelancing website. So people offer their services for anywhere from $5 or $10 or whatever price you really want. You just stick something on there and say, I'll proofread a document or proofread your ebook or whatever for $5 or $10, whatever you want to do. So this website, I went on there, and you can also, if you're a buyer, you can also throw out what's called a buyer's request on the website. So if I just want sellers to come to me instead of me browsing the marketplace and trying to find their what they call gigs or services, I will just throw a buyer's request out. So on there, I said, I want somebody to watch a 2-hour-long documentary for $5 and take notes on it. Basically, is what I said, and I said, and I want you to take 20 notes on it, and I want you to give me your feedback at the end. And I didn't tell him what the documentary was going to be, but what that documentary is going to be is Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues, or basically any other flat Earth, long flat Earth video that somebody wants to make a freelancer watch. But by default, I'm telling people that that's the one I'm going to make them watch. And I just read out the details of the first guy that did it today, and it was actually pretty good. I mean, he basically, to sum it up, he said that Mark Sargent didn't really help him. He didn't like think by the end of the video that the Earth was flat, of course, but and he had a lot of trouble trying to like tie together all Mark's points as to why those points had anything to do with the Earth's shape. But that's because this guy wasn't a conspiracy theorist that really understood how screwed up the world is. So he missed a lot of those points and how they tied in, and he was vocal about it. But and this is what makes it all worth it for $5. The guy said at the end of the message, I had seen or heard about the flat Earth theory before, so I was interested to hear Mark's video. And at the end of it, he really made me want to know more about it. So I plan on, reading up on more articles and watching more videos and trying to learn more about the flat Earth theory. It's fascinating. So I was like, yeah. So that's a big plus. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good idea, Karen?
Sorry, just here. Yep. Because I know you work really hard on all this. Yeah.
I'm going to take a sip of water. I got some chapped lips. This wintertime is really killing me over here. It chaps my lips and it messes with my throat. It's weird.
Well, that's because you've been talking all night.
I have but the air's real dry. And then when I run the fireplace, it's whew. But
is it quite cold where you are then, Horry?
It has been, yeah. It has been really cold over here.
Never think of America being cold, but half of America's cold at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of snow on like the palm trees. I forget, I don't know where it was, but I was like, okay. And I saw a picture. I don't know if this is real. Snow on the Sahara Desert. I think it was the Sahara with snow on it.
Well, Judith lives in Israel, and she went to a mountain range that sort of borders near, I think it's Jordan and somewhere else. Anyway, the mountain's higher there. She was standing in snow on this mountain, and she's in Israel. You don't think of Israel having a mountain with snow on it, do you?
I don't, you know, to be honest, I would be lying if I even knew the climate of Israel to even comment on it. But I just have such a vivid image of this desert with snow on it, with this, you know, brown, orangey, like vibrant orangey brown sand with snow, and the picture of the snow and palm trees. Something's wrong with the weather. That's what we're getting at here, folks. something's kind of wonky with the weather, breaking some serious records. But what can we do? You know, I saw in, I think it was Brazil, they a bunch of people broke into a harp establishment and tore down all the harp towers. I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say yeah.
So I mean, hey, you know, it could be turning around. But you know what? This Fiverr thing, let me tell y'all, this Fiverr thing is, I think it's going to be really interesting. I mean, this is a good result for $5. This guy wants to do some more research on it. It was really interesting to him. But I've already had now three supporters. And this is what I'm telling everybody. If you want to support me, you can go to my channel and watch the video, or the paypal.me/Horry Sheet Show, I think is the link. And you will, if you drop $5 or $6 in there, what it is it costs me $5 on the Fiverr site to get them to do it, plus a $1 processing fee. So it really cost me $6. But I've been calling it the $5 project for a while. So either $5 or $6, and you buy yourself a freelancer to watch the clues, and I'll read out the notes that they give in a show. And I'll even plug whatever you want on the channel. So I think it's some good advertising, especially if you do any sort of Flat Earth merchandise or have your own channel or something. And you know, I usually get, I don't know, about 1,000 views per video like this by the end of it. So it's just a way to spread the flat Earth. And since I'm doing the actual work, I don't want to always have it come out of my pocket. So what I've had 3 people, one guy, Andy. Thanks to Andy, Cappy Trips, same guy. He was the first supporter of this, and Diana Campanella is also another supporter. And then I got another. It just came through an email. 4 more orders from one guy came through. So Patrick, thanks a whole bunch. So it's, you know, I got, the next episode is going to be all about these Fiverr orders, or I might let them just kind of trickle on and see how many people we can turn on to the flat Earth for $5. I think it'll work, Karen. I really do.
Cool. So how do they do this for you then, Horry?
Well, they just you know, I make an order with them for $5, and they get $4 of that, and they watch Mark Sargent's clues, and by the end of it, they have 20 notes that they write down. I make them take 20 notes and give me their own personal feedback. So, you know, the guy's notes were stuff like stuff about Antarctica and Admiral Byrd's trip, and how planes can't be tracked once they go past the southern hemisphere, and all these different things this guy was writing down that, you know, he won't be able to unsee. And that's the beauty of it. You know, if you're paying that much attention and writing all these notes down, some of the stuff you write down is going to be so wow, and it's going to, you know, be factual stuff that you're going to be stuck with a nice little set of notes that you just can't run from. That's the whole point of it.
Well, on behalf of Sun and Moon, we'd also like to say thank you to you, because you've done lots of little articles about us. So we all very much appreciate what you've done for Sun and Moon.
Oh, thanks. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing too. You guys are giving me a voice too. You're a bigger channel than me, and I appreciate that. And you guys just doing what you do. It's just like a nice place to come in and talk, or a nice panel to come and be on. And I like that. Like that about your place, and Patricia's hangout is always nice. Just the vibe that your two channels put out are very similar to me. Very welcoming, very warming vibe. So thanks for that.
We're in this together, aren't we, Horry?
And we are. We try to be.
Can I just say that Judith's joined us? Hello, Judith.
Judith, how you doing?
Hey, shalom everybody. Shalom, Horry. How are you?
Doing well.
Hi, Karen.
Hello, my darling. Sorry, it was just an unarranged one. I woke up and I saw Horry, and he said, "Oh, come on now," and I was like, "Oh, I was having a lie-in, so I've jumped out of bed and got on the computer."
Good surprise. Good surprise.
Yeah, he's not been to sleep yet.
Nope. I'm still pretty energized from last night's stream, last night's stream. But let me tell you guys something that I think y'all be excited to hear. Do you remember somebody who disappeared recently, and everybody was kind of worried about him? A lot of people were like, "Is he dead?" Joshua Swift, Authentic Intent. You remember him?
Right.
He's alive.
Yeah, that's good then.
Yeah, he's alive, and he's still a flat earther. He hasn't pulled the tiger down on us. That was the news that I disclosed in my last broadcast today. But he has PM'd me on Facebook and a few other people, and I had to finally dig into this, because I had been getting emails from people for the past few months. 1, 2, 3 emails so far, and I was like, man, all right, I have to dig into this. So I sent him a message, and he actually responded, and it was him, and he's okay. He said he's going to be back with a vengeance, but it'll be some time, and I just don't want to give any details. I just told him I won't say what's going on. I'm just going to say he's alive, and
Well, that's good.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And
it's quite an intense thing. I don't know about the people in the chat room, but I can see that there are people there, or a lot of people who keep coming back. It's just not something that you can put down and pretend isn't here anymore. And I'm driven. You're driven. We're driven to do this.
Yeah, and one of the things I can point out that yeah. Sorry.
No, you carry on.
I wanted to say, one of the things I was surprised to hear him say was that he didn't really understand the magnitude of his absence. He didn't think anybody really cared that he took a break, or whatever the case was. I mean, he didn't feel a sense of urgency to come and let us all know he was okay. He didn't think that we were worried, all that stuff. And I'm like, no. Told him tonight. I said, listen, brother man, go make a post on your Facebook page. Just for the love of God, go make a post on your Facebook page. So I hope he does that, just to say, hey guys, I'm okay.
I hope I say this right. Big Rolio says he misses Joshua in the chat room.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and you should go flood his Facebook page so he makes his post. And he told me what it might be, and I laughed. And if he does that, just say, hey, where you been? Horry sent me over here. And he'll know.
Well, you've done a shout out to him, haven't you? And maybe he'll watch this and realize that he's important then.
Yeah, he's. I gave him the link to the show I did where I talked about him, and I showed a picture, and I put on the picture some on-screen text. Matter of fact, I can actually probably do that right here, because I am working with OBS, and this is what I looked like earlier today. I made it. I'm coming back with a vengeance. Quote. So there he is, and hopefully he's going to come back with his what does he do? His flat cab. Remember that he'd get in the cab and he'd go from A to B, and he'll tell the guy, the driver, he'll start talking flat earth with the driver. I think that was a great idea. I mean, you can't do much else sitting in a car with somebody who has to be at least a decent host for you. So that's a good idea.
And we love your set there, Horry.
My what? My set?
Yeah, I was talking to you before about your rug.
Yeah. Yeah, the rug says, "We lie like a rug." It's got the NASA logo in the middle. It's got the two arrows pointing to the rug that says, "Wipe your feet," and pointing to the NASA logo, and the little clown shoes, on the side.
What I said was that if that was out, like, there would probably be a hole in the NASA bit right now.
Yeah. If it was a real rug, man, it'd be all rubbed off by now, totally. And I want to get it printed out. I might actually look into it because I could take the little file and go to a website, and maybe they'll tell me how much it would cost. Probably no more than $150, $200 to get something like that made up, and just to have it in here in real life. Oh man, I'd change it up a little bit though. But it's interesting to know. I could probably do that. You can put logos on cups and pens and all kinds of stuff now. So with this rug, yeah, it's doable.
Could you just explain like what you've got on the back wall here? You've got a bow and arrow. Well, no, whatever that is. What do you call that?
A crossbow.
Yeah, you've got an axe. A crossbow. That's it.
Yeah, crossbow. Looks like a two-handed axe. I don't know the proper name for that specific axe. And then the plant over there has a mace. You can't really see it, but there's a spiked ball mace behind the plant. And then over here you got the crossbow, and then a set of poi, and that's what I used when I was fire spinning or practicing for fire spinning. It's just a striped black and white set of nylon stretchy socks with tennis balls in them. I just got them hanging up there like some medieval weapons, and just a little touch of me in there. But yeah, I also got the little Horry sheet logo and the lanterns and Japanese lanterns, and I love my little sign up there. My desk was actually took a guy in his garage standing next to his console TV that he had somebody taking a picture of. I don't know. He was probably just posing next to it to say, "Hey, look at this mint condition old piece of furniture I have in my garage." So I took that. I said, "That'll make a great desk." Photoshopped it right out. Now it's my desk. I run videos in it. I run ads on it or whatever I want to do on it. And this is actually not terribly hard to do. I mean, mediocre photoshopping skills, really all it took. So I hope that it's inspiring to hear for some people. I didn't go to school for any of this.
Aren't you? You're very distinctive. It's not like we don't know who's on.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Whether it's the logo or this dojo looking set, some people call it cheesy. I guess that's why I got cheesy puff carpet now. So I can be as cheesy as I want if I got cheesy puff carpet.
Walking around on a cheesy puff carpet.
Yeah, that's my creation. That's my attempt at making some I don't know, comfy orange shag carpet. I had to put it in a 3D layer and tilt it and stretch it, and they try to get it was a mess, but this is what I came out. It's decent. It's decent. It's much better. Well, I'm not even gonna say, but it's better than it was before. I changed it up a little bit. It could have been much worse than this. But let me tell you.
Have you changed what you do a little bit then? Because you started off by having these weekly sessions, didn't you? Or talking about flat Earth and what was going on. So you've changed it a little bit now.
Well, yeah, I was doing the Flat Earth Digest before, and that was a show I would script 100%, like word for word. I'd go and I'd script everything, and I'd have videos that would play. And this was something I'd pre-recorded and edited and had, canned laughter and sound effects. And it was a real professional production. The problem was my channel was still in its infancy at the time. So I was spending probably 12 hours just on the editing of the show, not counting, the time it took to watch the 3 or 4 hour long podcasts. And you add all that time, it was easily like 30 hours. But for 200 people, 300 people to see. So I couldn't really keep that up for too long. And especially once it started getting censored, like the powers that be noticed what I was doing, and it felt like they were like, let's not let this guy's stuff get through the Facebook feed. They started blocking me from Facebook, banning me from groups for 30 days, stuff like that. Facebook, told me I couldn't live stream for 30 days because I made a Vegas video. and they got me for bullying and harassment. Like I would ever harass somebody, on my channel. So it's it showed me that I'm up against a lot of stuff. So I had to kind of take a step back for a while, and I changed it up. And now I'm doing, whether it's scripted or not, I'm doing just live shows where I'm using OBS, and I'm getting pretty, familiar with OBS and how it works. So it's a lot easier nowadays to do this. So yeah, that's how I changed it up.
Yeah, into the cheesy puff carpet. No, you already had that, didn't you?
And actually, you know what? Before, I actually have it right here. Let me see if I can go back to the old school. Oh, it's even got my little TV. Little TV comes out, and this is
you can
the
put your feet up on the desk.
Let's see.
From the chair, I meant from the chair.
Yeah. I can't go sit in the chair. Oh man, you're gonna have me trip over my all these wires. But no, check this out. This little TV. I got him animated, and he bounces up, and in a second, he's gonna say hit subscribe. So go ahead and everybody hit subscribe for the Sun and Moon channel, and then he's gonna dance behind me or in front of me. Whoa, whoa. And he's gonna go over here, and he's gonna do some other stuff. Comment below, So his little screen is kind of.
In the chat room says, ask Horry how he used virtual reality headset. Have you used virtual reality headsets recently?
No, no. But this isn't far from what NASA and them up there do. I bet they use something like this. Remember that clip of the NASA astronaut that reaches over and grabs like a stuffed animal during one of the supposed live streams? I've been thinking about that, and I think I know how they did it, and it's really easy to do. I might actually do that during a live stream and freak some people out. But yeah, no, I haven't done any virtual reality.
I think he probably means because you know that Z Proxy and Stan Smith, they use 360 cameras and virtual headsets to do their research, don't they? Have you seen Stan Smith? He can put on goggles and see everything in virtual reality in these goggles, and they map out the moon and the moon. They let him into the moon more.
I don't know.
Obviously, they're trying to promote 360 in those headsets because it would blow people's minds if they put those headsets on and realised.
Yeah, it's coming a long way.
We've
the
technology that out for you. 360 cameras and those headsets which do the same thing. The goggles.
I'm looking into it. I put some of those on, some low-level ones. I forgot what it was called, but it was interesting to see. And I was there at the little convention they had before this even was close to hitting mainstream like it is now. And the technology, again, was really coming a long way in just a couple of years. And yeah, this stuff, it's not for me. I'm a gamer, and the games that they're making for these things it's just not appealing yet. They're not appealing yet. So I'm not going to buy one of these. Plus, I think that this is also some next gen mind control device. So I'm a little nervous about putting it anywhere near my head in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
And you've lost the belly dancers. You had some belly dancers before, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I got the belly dancers. I usually have the belly dancers on the shows where, like I did tonight when I had to go do something. I let her come on and dance. She'll just be behind me. She'll dance with me. Sometimes I have her too big or too small, so she looks like either a behemoth or a miniature doll. So I have to watch how I'm standing. Sometimes she's just a little more distracting than it's meant to be.
It's fixed for us. We are all dancers. Huh, Karen?
Yeah, we've been having a gentleman called Jay. He's Raw Zen on YouTube. He's the ballet instructor, and he goes 1, 2, 3, And we all go, we are dancers. He's a ballet instructor and a dance teacher. And he thinks that, you know, that's one of the things we're not doing. You know, it's good energies coming out when you're dancing. And none of us dance anymore.
Well, my dancing is my poi spinning or my fire spinning. And it's funny when I do that, people say, "Oh, I love how you dance." And to me, it's not dance. To me, it's just something different. It's just spinning lights. It's just how I move, how I have to move to spin the lights the way I want to spin. And people tell me they love how I dance. Uh, and it was really funny because I was real self-conscious about how my footwork was. So one night I went to the park to exercise is what it was for me. I was going to exercise. And I'm out there spinning glow sticks and exercising. And I noticed this couple was eating a piece of pizza outside this pizza bar. They're sitting down. And eventually they walked over and this lady hands me a $20 bill after like an hour of them just kind of peeking over and drinking their drink and eating their pizza. And she hands me a $20 bill. She goes, "Thanks so much for the performance." I'm like, "What? I'm just out here exercising." She goes, "No, I just wanted to tell you your footwork is amazing and we've been enjoying your show." And I'm like, whoa, blown away, you know? And that was the confirmation for me because I was specifically working on my footwork that night. And she said, "You know, your dancing is great." And it just got me thinking, you know, I mean, that after that, I started, you know, going to perform out in public. That was kind of the last straw for me. People telling me I need to be performing in public once you get that kind of. So, but yeah, dance. You know, you don't have to dance. Maybe you should try to take up some poi. You ever thought about doing something like that? It's very freeing. Or do you know what I'm talking about when I say poi?
No. Well, explain it.
Well, you know, these things I have on my wall, they're just stretchy material with 2 tennis balls in them. You can do the same thing with long knee-high socks and a drop a tennis ball in them and spin them. It's the same concept.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to talk about your fire. You do this fire thing,
Well,
don't you?
when you spin these things, when you spin these socks, it's the same mechanics, the same way to learn actual fire. It's just, you know, you're not lighting something on fire. But if I lit those socks on fire, well, there we go. I'm a fire spinner. Same thing. But these are the daytime like practice poi is what it is. So, but it helps you. It's great for exercise. It feels like a meditative flow to me, and get your body moving, get you sweating. You know, get you really. It's good, and it's dance. You know, it's beautiful.
You're good at the fire. What do you call that? I don't. What do you call it when you do?
Fire poi or fire spinning.
Right, there you go. Same thing then. Yeah, you're really good at it, aren't you?
I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I got really addicted to it after it was, you know, such great exercise. It had got me off of computer games and stuff, and out in the yard and out getting sun. So it was a whole lot of good for me at the time, regardless of whether or not I looked good doing it. It was freaking incredible for my body. So, but no, I had a website. I got on the news actually. The news was looking for a particular fire spinner that some lady was calling the cops on one night, and they called my phone from my website. They're like, "Are you that fire spinner?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, can we do a piece on you?" And I was like, "Yeah." So they interviewed me about the safety of fire spinning, and it was great. And then not too long after that, long story short, America's Got Talent ends up calling me to ask me to come perform and give me a VIP pass to skip through their lines. And they were going to do a America's Got Talent New Orleans show, which eventually fell through. So it was weird, but they asked if they could film in my house and everything, and they did actually film me. And then we got kicked out of where they were trying to film me for stupid city reasons. It was very strange. But yeah, that happened. I'm decent. I'll say that.
Horry, we love you. Horry, we love you.
I'm not as good as some people that you'll find on the internet, but no average Joe, I guess. It's fun
We
though.
appreciate people like you because you're promoting flat Earth.
I'm so much better at promoting flat Earth. I'll tell you that right now. And I like to promote flat Earth in this awesome shirt right here. I want to give D Marble a whole lot of thanks for this shirt, the Effie Offensive shirt. It says Spread the truth, expose the lies, demand answers. Really cool shirt. He was doing a giveaway, and it's the first thing I probably ever won from a giveaway, but he threw some dice and he asked people to pick some numbers that he would, potentially throw from the dice, 3 numbers. And I got them all right, exactly. Like boom, 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 like 100% psychically exactly right. And I won the shirt. So that was pretty cool. I said, yeah, dude, that's great. Now I get to promote it for you. And he deserves it because he's one of the few people, left in my lineup of people that I would love to promote and that I enjoy seeing as a spokesperson for Flat Earth, because he's got a good head on his shoulders. He talks about it in a good way. A lot of people are like screwing up, in my opinion, and he's not. So I appreciate what he's doing. D Marble, go check him out.
Cool. Thanks for that. So what did you want to sort of talk about today then? Because you wanted to talk about a few things. Or have we done it?
Well, the Fiverr thing was really a big thing. But one of the other things I think is important for a lot of people to go check out, Patricia Steers, episode 209 of the Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. She talked about 140 plus mile flat Earth proof. You can actually supposedly see the Isle of Man from the UK, which is sort of a big deal. That's, we shouldn't be able to see as much as we can of that. But even further than that, 140 miles plus, is Ireland. You can see Ireland from the UK. Nathan Oakley, you know Nathan Oakley and his channel. He's been doing a lot of debates. I mean, debate after debate. He's probably live right now doing a debate, as a matter of fact. And, it's argued that if this is refraction, first of all, wouldn't what you're seeing be inverted? And that's most likely yes. But these people that argue for the globe, they will say, oh yeah, well, you could see this, you could see Ireland over there because of refraction. And they'll argue the point that you could see, if refraction conditions are met right or properly, you could see so far over the curve that you would see the back of your own head. I mean, they believe that's possible under certain conditions. So it's really hard to combat people that come at this from a supposed science angle, if they can say things like that and really don't understand the ludicrousness of it, right? But this is a proof you can't run from, Karen. 140 miles, that's incredible.
Yeah, I put one. I haven't obviously done it myself, whereas they've done this test, haven't they? But I put one out where someone else had looked up this lighthouse in Scotland, and you could see it from Ireland, and it was about 180 miles away. Not every day could you see it, but certain days you could see this lighthouse. And it was over 100, well, it was like 110, 120, whatever it was over 100 miles away. And it's impossible. You shouldn't be able to see it.
Wow.
Same thing. You shouldn't be able to see it. If there's curvature, you shouldn't see it, should you?
No, not anything over 40 miles, I would say, is highly, and even then, 40 miles is a long way. It better be really, really, really high. But 60, 80 miles away is oh no. 100 miles away? No way. 140? Oh no.
There's nobody who's ever been able to actually film or capture curvature. Doesn't that tell me something?
That tells me all I need to know. I mean, look behind me. This is pretty much right when the weather balloon pops. Notice it's flat. Why? No fisheye lens, no wide angle lens on that camera. It's a regular freaking camera catching the flat, natural looking horizon. This is what we see in a weather balloon. No matter how high we go, I believe our natural eyes would still see this flat of a horizon. I don't think at some point, if we had an oxygen mask and a parachute.
There's nothing bendy, is there? There's nothing bendy there.
There's nothing bending. There's nothing inverting. There's nothing, going whoa, convex, concave, all that. There's none of that's happening right here. If the camera moves up and down, you're going to see either more ground or more sky. That flatness is because this camera is a proper non-fisheye lens camera. And people need to understand that. That's why one of the biggest first videos I made is called The Fisheye Lie. It goes right into, hey, you've been on a plane before and you think Earth is a ball because you've seen a curvature from the plane's window? These are how plane windows are built, and I go into the curvature of a plane window and aerodynamics a little bit, and
Yeah,
I go
nice,
into the
nice. Yeah,
and
love
then
it.
yeah,
Thing
and
is, people don't
yeah,
realise if they look out of the left window, they can see her horizon. They look out of the right window, they can see her horizon. The plane can see when it's up about 37,000 feet, supposing that's what they say they're flying. That's 7 miles. Then that's about 200 and something miles, but that's 360, 220 miles.
yeah, and the horizon's meeting their eye level just about, and people don't really put that together. That
Well,
on a ball,
we've had
you'd have to be
pilots
looking down.
Pilots say this: if we were a spinning ball, there's no way they'd be able to land the plane.
No. At what point does the Earth start to spin from under us? It doesn't spin from as high as our balloons can go, and they pop. From footage like this right here, the Earth isn't spinning below. It's not rotating. The balloon is. But I mean, if the speed is correct, that the Earth is rotating like what, faster than a speeding bullet, right? It's at least moving faster than speed. At what point can we see that? And how high do we have to go to see Earth rotating below? Like, what blimp can we send up? What helicopter can we send up? How high does it have to go before it is set to hover and we realize Earth is rotating from under it? No, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And people, that's people need to have a lot of little things like that add up and add up and add up before the flat Earth
Do you
is going to
think
be a
it would have
reality
been
for them.
easier for people if it had been called Flat Horizon? Because that you couldn't get away from. Because people argue with it, well, it's not flat, and they're right. It isn't completely flat like that because it's a flat plane with mountains and gorges, and still a flat plane with mountains and gorges. So it's not quite flat, is it? Because of the mountains and the gorges, but the plane's flat.
It's flat Earth is a word that just triggers people. It makes people mad, and they don't really know why they're mad.
I get this feeling you talk. They either look at you as if you're absolutely mad, or they hate you.
Yeah, I mean they're either mad that you are like today. I was on, and this is a social experiment for me because I'm just this kind of person. I don't care. I'm on Facebook on a Twitch.tv streamers Facebook group, and I'm posting, "Hey, I'm excited to announce I had and this is true. I had 76 people on my stream last night, and it was a new record for me, guys. What do you stream about? I talk about the flat Earth. What do you guys stream about?" And that's how I throw out that hey, Earth is flat, boop. And people, one guy's like, he posted a tinfoil hat GIF, and I was like, oh well, give me your ball Earth proof. Like, well, why do you think Earth is a ball? And it went back and forth with him a little bit, and another guy joined in, kind of tried to go back and forth with him, but people attack you, they get mad. This guy's called me a troll. I was like, dude, I'm not trolling. Like, literally, this is like what I have done for the past 3 years is research this. I didn't make this post to troll, but either he really thought I was a troll, but either way, he got really mad. And what triggers these people? It's like programming, right? It's either that or something in the water.
I've known you sort of from the beginning. You're a very nice man, so take no notice of it. People just get jealous, I think.
Oh yeah. I block several people a day from posting on my channel. So I would tell anybody right now who's just listening to me and thinks that I'm in this for the money or anything like that, or I'm a shill, or I'm working for somebody, or somebody's paying me for my channel. I've heard it all. Whether it's my logo, people say, "Oh, it's the Aleister Crowley hat logo." No, it's not. It has nothing to do with Aleister Crowley. Whatever the drama is, it's not true. I try to promote everybody. Instead of my Jedi shirt right now that I like to wear, I'm wearing this shirt here to say thanks to D Marble and promote his channel. It's just what I do. It's what I've always done. Some of the people I've promoted have burned me.
It's lovely to Sun and Moon, and it's been a pleasure always chatting to you, Horry. So I just don't know where all this comes from.
It's jealous people, Karen. It's people that want to claw other people down to get where they are. And in the end, if people are really, if people are in it for the whole, because I guess some people are leeches and some people have a mission that's bigger than them. And that's what I consider this for me. Is it's just, my goal is bigger than me, and I want to do it right. And some people are just more selfish with it. But either way, if we're just helping each other and we're in it for the right reasons, we'll be better in helping the bigger picture. So I try to just promote other channels and try to share the best proofs. And mostly I'm in it here to wake people up. I'm in here to wake new people up. And a lot of times, like this Fiverr project that I'm doing, it's probably going to be a really good thing. And now there's, six more people that are going to get a flat smacking. And I probably have to ask everybody to slow their roll with the donations on that project at this point, because 6 is enough. But this is great. It's working. It's great.
Well, that's good. It's working.
Oh, on that note, we're glad you said that, because I was in a stream on YouNow last week, and somebody came in and they were like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to say thanks to your broadcast you did a few weeks ago. I am now a flat earther." He wasn't taking it seriously until one of my broadcasts, and then he did some research, and he came to a few of my broadcasts and did some more research, and finally came back and said, "Dude, I'm a flat earther now, and I'm telling all my friends and all this." So it is working, and that wasn't the first guy. Another guy had said, "Hey, I came back, and your show turned me into a flat earther." It was just a few weeks before that too. So that's what's keeping me going. Yeah, that's 2 people in a month's time, and that's good enough.
Do you think, Horry, are you noticing that this, I'm not saying that everybody woke up in 2016, because some people, even from children, know that it's a flat plane, or on a flat plane. But 2016 was this great big wake up. Do you think 2017 was the same?
I think 2015 was for most people their flat Earth cherry was popped, so to speak. It's 2015, mid 2015 for me and a lot of other people. But then you got people, from Croatia that would tell you that they learned in school that the Earth was flat, and to tell them it's a ball, they laugh at you. That was on David Weiss's podcast. When Curious Jay tried to tell somebody he was going to go flat smack some lady, and she was from Croatia. She was an older lady, and no, she's like, "I already know there's flat. They taught me that in grade school. It's not a ball." Can you believe that? So
one thing this is about, it's about making you think, and they don't want us to think. They want us as zombies in front of the television.
Oh man. Oh, it's so much more complex, and it's worse than that. I mean, in every facet, I think they even want to invert everything, not only pervert it. We've been perverted, and look at TV nowadays compared to like the 80s or the 70s. Look how perverted the TV is now, how much more sex you have on TV, but inverted. I mean, it's almost.
It was always like this. Always.
I don't know, me and artists were looking at children's programs from the 60s.
Hollywood.
At least we were outside then. The programs had, they were outside. There was herb and whatever it was, and they were talking about the herbs and how good they were to the children. You don't get any of that anymore. It's a wham, bam, isn't it? Wham, bam.
Yeah. Now the most bigger problem is the phone in everybody's hand. And it's incredible. People lost themselves with this phone, with this technology. They driving, they use the phone. They don't. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And for children, this is a big bomb in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
This phone.
I've thought about things I would never even think about. I've been out there looking at the moon, I've learned like what the sky's about, the morning coming, the light is different to the sun. There's just so many things I've learned that I never would have done, probably. And this is what the rest of the zombies, people who watch television all the time out there, zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, and
don't mean we love everybody, but zombies.
You know, Ori, my son-in-law is a skipper, and he tried to convince me that we live on the ball.
Because he
He
saw the
tried to
curve from sea level, eh?
he tried to convince me that yes, the ocean, he can stick the ocean in the ball. Yeah, and he skipper himself in the globe, in the ball. It's incredible. I love him very much, but it's a big issue. Yeah, it's a big issue.
Big face palm. Big face palm, right? Oh. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I had a guy was on Facebook the other day, and he, he wanted to hash it out with me and call me an idiot and tell me that all flat Earth pictures are doctored and fake. Like I don't even know what that means. And I was like, okay, show me one. I'm waiting. I don't know what you're talking about. All flat Earth pictures are fake. And then he goes, "You're an idiot if you think the Earth is flat because you can see curvature from farmland or the ocean at sea." And I was like, oh boy, how do you see curvature from farmland or the ocean? What part of the world are you seeing this curvature from? Like, come on.
I put this little thing. Hi, Astral. Astral's joined us. Hi, Astral.
Hey.
I put out this little thing. It was someone on a radio show on the television, and they were talking, and they'd rung in, and it was a bit like, obviously he was in America, and they were saying how close the moon was. He said, well, I can see the moon, but I can't see California. The moon's supposed to be 260,000 miles away, but he can't see California, but he can see the moon. So that's how close the moon is.
Yeah.
People just don't think, do they? But I don't think any of us did, because I can't. The only thing I can think of is it's just like that story of the emperor with the clothing when he's out, and everybody has to say, "Whoa, look, he's magnificent! Oh, the clothes are beautiful. He's naked." Until someone stands up and says he's naked. It's just like that story. What we're living in.
It may very well be. Yeah, and I haven't met anybody yet that has made me stop and go, "Oh my God, I just didn't think of that. Earth might still be a ball." No, I'm sorry. In 3 years, I haven't had that.
You can't go back. I'm sorry, I can't go back to pretending it was a ball now. I can't.
You figure, some baller would have had to come through with some comment that he finally got in 3 years to make me stop and think, whoa, wait, that's a great ball Earth proof. No, but it hasn't happened. Sorry. Just has the only argument they have are equations and math and NASA proof or refraction, when you're seeing like these stupid videos they're putting out of, look, the guy supposedly seeing curvature from Lake Pontchartrain, the Pontchartrain Bridge. Oh my God, like the amount of curvature he shows in some of his pictures or videos is absolutely ridiculous, because there's no way the Earth is curving, and if it was, it's not even mathematically going to curve at such a rate shown visually there in those pictures. So people don't think that far. People don't have these critical thinking skills. And I'm talking about, I had lost a lot of respect for people with credentials, people that had been to college with physics degrees and stuff like that. Come on, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, the Lion guy. I mean, these people, no, they don't deserve the platform and the recognition. Bill said that you could, why can't you see all the way across the world? And I forgot what his excuse was, but he gave a pretty lame excuse. Oh man, you just, they don't think anything through. Oh, look at other channels like Vsauce. He'll put out a video mocking flat Earth, and it was all about an animation saying, well, see, flat earthers don't know what they're talking about, because given the rotation of the Earth, if Earth was a disk and everything was built on the disk, if it was rotating at this speed, then buildings would have to be built a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, stop right there. We don't think Earth rotates, pal. Yeah, and that just kills this dude's whole like 40-minute video or whatever. People don't think. They don't think. They don't absorb information well.
There's two things already. You can't film curvature, and we're not moving. It's obvious we're not moving.
Yeah. Yeah, they push those experiments under the rug, right? Michelson Morley.
Yeah. They're there, but they're kind of hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we kind of worked out that it was the 1960s. Artists did a lot of research, found newspaper reports in the 1900s, which said if you were going to obviously say you were on a ball, they could go to prison. And then we worked out in the 1900s, they were really into electric cars and free energy and all that. And these things could go maybe over 100 miles an hour, could go for hours. And then, of course, we get the First and Second World War, which destroys a lot of infrastructure in Europe and the UK. And then, of course, we come out of that with televisions, get oil, petrol, and then comes NASA, and then comes the ball in the 60s. Light savings, daytime savings, or we get 2 time changes a year. All that isn't about the weather and the sun and the light. It's to do with shopping. It's so to make the people go shopping more. It's all about money.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
I can't find any other words that it's disgusting to lie to its people like this. It's just disgusting. There's no other word, because everything is a lie and everything's back to front.
It really
Everything is the wrong way round.
Yeah, it's inverted. It's so perverted, and it's become inverted. And I mean, religions, and we can go on about... Oh, I don't even want to, because I haven't done enough research, but it does seem like everything's almost the opposite, and it's scary. It's scary to think, what if the way that they have us thinking is so wrong, like that we should not even be eating meat. Like, just not about the animals, but what if it was just the programming has us so dead set on it being okay, and if it wasn't? I'm not saying if you're a meat eater, it's bad. I'm not here to bash you, but if the programming is that bad, think about what that could mean on a karmic level. And I don't know. It's just how deep could it go? How ruined are we?
Well, we're eating plastic cheese. We're eating things with chemicals in it. I thought there was all these rules and regulations to make sure that these things didn't happen. Children are eating rat poisoning in the cereal. It's just how does this happen?
Yeah,
how can all that slip through with all these rules and regulations?
I heard as long as it tastes like what it's supposed to be in America, it's okay. Like, it'll pass.
Well, guess what? Artists noticed chemicals in it to stop us throwing up.
What's that?
They put chemicals in the food to stop you throwing it up.
Wow. To
make sure you don't throw up. I forget what it's called now, but this is what they're doing. It's like they're putting all these chemicals.
I know that in Japan or somewhere in Asia or whatever, they're taking syringes full of like stuff, and they're injecting chickens to make them look plumpier, and then shrimp too. They just like impale these shrimp and pump this, like, I don't know, gel substance in there to make the shrimp weigh more and make them look plumpier and fuller. And I mean, this is terrible.
I'm sure we'd rather just natural food. I think what it is we're just some kind of experiment, to be honest, and it's all a game. We're in a game, and it's all experiments on the people.
I think it's funneled
one way or another. Let's see how much we can frighten them. Let's send messages out to Hawaii and say a missile's on its way.
You know what? I think it's funneled. I think there's a sort of a caste system, maybe. Like, there's elite islands, if you will, mansions, even maybe underground establishments. Who knows? That these elite go to or reside on or party on or whatever. But maybe even the elite are just representatives for the most part. I guess, as they are paraded around as representatives anyway. But
layer upon layer of lies.
I think all the stuff. all the stuff that we do, all the things that we make get funneled to these elite places really cheap. Like we're just the slaves to work, do all the labor for it, and they have their own economy for us to kind of live in, their own rules and everything, while they just kind of reap the fruits, way too many more fruits than their labor was worth. And that's just how it is. They just keep us dumbed down and just barely alive, barely in the know. And they just take whatever they need from us. Who knows what grand establishments they have? They might have an Emerald City, all right.
It's about they have to keep us controlled.
Yeah, they have to keep us controlled.
People don't realize that they're always being told that they're in a free society, but we're not. We're not free. Not like we think we are.
But we're learning. I think we're learning the secrets they're hiding from us. I really do. I think they. I think these old maps are pretty telling. Some of these older maps that are coming out show some land, surrounding everything, like flat Earth maps. Like I'm not a map researcher, but
be able to prove that right now, because we obviously need something like NASA on our side. If they were on our side, we'd be able to prove it, wouldn't we? But they're not. They're working against us. We might never right now know the shape, but we know that we're not spinning, and we know you can't record curvature, so that we're on some kind of flat plane. And just look at the picture behind you.
Well, a lot of people aren't looking into the we need more people looking into the balloons, and if we can make a balloon go higher to get better video, that's probably some next level stuff. Why do balloons pop up there? Is the balloons hitting the Van Allen belts? Or is it getting too cold? The material's expanding or contracting or breaking, or what's making the balloon pop? Why can't we fill something up that can go higher than what they go?
Rockets can't go up, can they? Rockets can only go so far up and stop.
Right, but well, is that a legit video? Somebody else needs to look into that. I know the video you're talking about. Is it legit?
I've often thought that when it goes bang.
Yep.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Clump, and then it like stops and it slowly like starts falling. But it grinds it, it grinds onto something, and it sounds like it's underwater too up there, right?
It's very strange.
Yeah, I want to know if that's legit. I want to get to the source of that, and I don't know, can't do it.
Horry, I do a quickie. I was going to put that, but I didn't know if it was the right thing to put on the tag. Work myself in a little bit, so I wondered, like, in the next 10 minutes, do you want to promote anything else that you've got to say?
No, I just wanted to get that out there about the success of the Fiverr stuff and Joshua Swift's return. Everybody should be relieved to hear that. And thanks a whole bunch for having me on, Karen. It's been great. And Astral Thief, it's good to see you.
Oh, I don't want to go. I want to stay with Horry.
I'm not going just yet. I'll hang around. I'll definitely want to see what you guys are going to talk about. Are you going to say anything cool?
I love your backdrop, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just
we're all dancers. We just need Jay now, and he'll be ripping into that.
Yeah.
Well, Sun and Moon is continuing. We've had Santos and Thrive in the last week. Thrive and Survive, and Ladies' Night on Monday. We've got John Cowrie on Sunday coming to talk about pyramids, because obviously the UK does have a pyramid. It's about 20-30 miles from me, and no one's talking about that either. And he knows it's a pyramid. And when I started talking to him, I didn't even know. I was a bit worried about mentioning flat Earth. He's a flat earther, so it's even brilliant.
Nice. Yeah, we're coming out the woodworks, man. That's great. It's the year, man. It's the year.
We've had
tell people, tell your friends, tell your family, talk about it. Drop business cards. I think it's time people get so flooded with it. It might be the second or third or the fourth time, but man, how many times are you going to hear something like the Earth is flat or see it before you decide to look into it? And I think once that gets to the point where people are seeing it everywhere and they're sick of it, finally they go, well, what is this nonsense? I'm going to look into it. And that's it. Like, that's going to be the turning point. So
me, when it came along, it came along like I sort of suddenly I watched one video January 2016, and once I'd actually seen it, like watched it, I thought I knew months before, but I'd done years on 9/11, and I looked at it, I thought, no, not something else now. That was it. That was it for me.
Yeah.
Can I say something? I was intrigued, right? Was it Captain James Cook, and he'd sailed and sailed, and he'd sailed something like 90,000, was it kilometers or miles? I'm not sure, but that gets you thinking, how can he do that? How can he sail that far, you know, for so long? There's something there, you know. If he's been sailing for that long, then obviously it's not how we think it is. It definitely isn't how we think it is.
If it's real anymore, do we? We just don't know if our history's real. We just don't know any of it's real anymore.
No. I do remember what you're talking about there. And that's right. I mean, what could he be sailing around? It's America's not that big. It's no other countries.
He's following ice. He's following the Antarctic. Yeah, exactly. And if he's following it for 90,000 miles or whatever it was, you know, I mean, come on, something's wrong there. It doesn't map with our little globe we get fed, does it? At all?
No. That's a good point.
That's actually one of the things that got me started. I was looking at nature and things and wondering, you know, why do plants grow in the Arctic, but yet they don't grow in the Antarctic? You know, there's like such a diversity in the northern hemisphere in the Arctic, but yet in the south it was lacking. So I started looking into it, and then I found Captain James Cook, and you know, obviously I got onto Admiral Byrd, and then I was like, oh my God, what's all this? You know, one thing led to another, and here I am. I'm flat. And I ain't going back.
If you're flat, you can't go back.
No, you can't.
Flat.
You know, for me, the gyroscopes and the way that they don't precess, is that the right word? Precess, as they go across the shape of a ball, they stay flat and level, you know? And how is that possible if you're going to go from some of the distances you can go and it just doesn't work right?
Before they take off. It's set
So,
before you take off.
Yep. So people don't really put that together.
That's how one of the pilots that came on. That's how one of the pilots who came on. That's how they realised. They didn't even click. They were suddenly looking at it, and it came up as flat Earth, and then they went, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, you can't run from that if you know that the mechanics of that gyroscope in the plane is just mechanical. It's not electrical or hell, probably even then I don't see how it could naturally follow a curve and calculate for it. I mean, these things are mechanical. It's just what they are, right? And they're just flat Earth proof tools built right into the plane. People just need to recognize that.
To realize if we were on a spinning ball, the plane would be flying differently. But the pilots say there's just no way. If we were a spinning ball, they'd be able to fly a plane. And most people don't realize when they look up in the sky, this is what I say to people who obviously don't know about flat Earth, you see two planes passing each other. Well, one would be going against the rotation of the Earth. It'd be battling. It'd have to go so far. You don't see that. They just pass each other at the same speed.
Yeah, they get to the destination at the same time, you know, and it doesn't make sense if the Earth is spinning a certain direction one way. One plane should be reaching its destination much quicker, right? No,
that means one flight would be really quick, and one flight would be longer.
That's what I'm saying. And then you got to think of this. This is another one. If you're going from, say, America to Australia, right? You're going halfway across the Earth, right? That's maybe a 12-hour flight. I don't know, but if it was 20, is it a 24-hour flight? And let's see. There's probably nothing.
From where to where?
Well, I'm saying, is there any flights? Yeah, I was pointing that for an example, but is there any flight where you'd go from you know, the whole, like the half of the Earth? Because if you did, you're standing upright at some point, and then you're standing completely upside down at the other point. But do you feel that?
I think the plane, to get over the curve, would have to go upside down and round. It'd have to do like a figure of 8. To get there.
Well, I mean, if it's a ball, I mean, and you just flew from here to here, whatever trip that was on a ball, you don't feel like you went from upright to upside down
No.
at the end of your destination. And
Believe
no
me,
matter
I'd
if it was
know.
yeah,
I know.
right.
I don't like roundabouts at all, you know. And I
No.
can feel if something's turning. I can feel if the bed that I'm laying on is not level. I can't sleep on it. It has to be level. I'm telling you, a little
Really?
bit out, and I can feel it, and I'm like, oh, this ain't right, you know. And
Yeah.
I won't be able to sleep. You know,
Yeah, but
it's happened to me
It'd be like
before.
going on a roller coaster ride, wouldn't it? Going on an aeroplane. Hold on, here we go. Wee up and over and round and down.
But what happens? You get on a plane, and as soon as the meal comes out, the wine comes out, the drinks come out. Everyone's all happy and jolly because they're either going on holiday or they're going home, you know, and they're just happy, you know. So maybe they get a little bit inebriated. They're not thinking about, are we going upside down now, or are we, you know, what's happening, you know. And I say to people, that's the argument I use. When you're on a plane, if we lived on a ball, it means that they'd have to nose down like every minute or every 2 minutes or something. They don't do it. You can see flights. I used to work for American Airlines, and you know, I've taken loads of flights, believe me. But yeah, we don't do that. They fly straight.
No.
They fly straight and level. That's why we live on a plane. You know,
Yep.
And they're called planes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're right. Every 2 minutes, huh? They have to nose down just to stay over the curve, supposed curve of the Earth.
I've just found my notes here. That Captain Cook, it was actually 60,000 miles. 60,000 miles looking for an Antarctic inland passage, and he never found it. So 60,000 miles. And he didn't come back on himself. Or, I don't know, 60,000 miles.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Could I just say that I'm really sorry, because I'd love to carry on talking to Horry for a bit longer, but I have to go to work shortly. So we have to, you said let's go on for half an hour. We've been on for an hour.
Yep, that's how it goes. But no, I totally feel you, Karen. Go ahead. Don't be late for work. It's been great doing a little show. Thanks for letting me come on and updating everybody. Appreciate it.
Can we just say goodbye off air? We'll say goodbye on air, and that we'll say goodbye to you off air. Thank you, everybody, for popping in and listening to Horry. Horry, is there anything you want to say before we go?
No, just make sure you guys, if you're not subbed up and have the bell rung, sometimes it disables the bell here for Sun and Group, for me a lot, and other channels. So make sure our bells are rung, and subscribe to my channel too if you're not already, staying up to date with the random news and whatnot I do. And thanks. You guys have a good one.
Yeah. Thanks to the chat room. I'll have to look at this again because I needed to go to the shop earlier, so I'll have to watch it again later. But no problem.
Oh, thank you, Astral. Thank you so much for popping on, Horry, and say thank you to the chat room. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Astral. Big flat Earth hugs to Horry and Astral and Judith and the chat room. We're back tomorrow. Sun and Moon back tomorrow with Matthew.
Peace and love, guys.
Anyway, yeah, thank you so much. Bye from us.